Hello and welcome inside the Rough Rider Center here in Watford City, North Dakota. I'm Edward Neiman. That's Ken Odo. We are here bringing you Warren Watford game number one, preseason game number one for the Toros, coming off a semifinal finish, looking to get back to Blaine later this season.
Yeah, it was a disappointing finish to what was otherwise a fantastic season for the Toros, and obviously a lot of guys back from that team. 10 returners, not all of them in the lineup tonight, but facing the Bobcats, you remember the fun finish to Central Division play and hoisting the Central Cup on Bobcat ice last spring.
5th annual war in Watford. First time in history, though. It's a rematch of the Central Cup. Both in-state rivals once again facing each other just about 3-4 months after we last saw them face off on the ice. Toros starting lineup. Ty James is in with Gibbs, Funk, Small, Spencer. And the last line of defense, the 0-4 Ukrainian Gleb Artsabanov for the Toros. Bobcats, Trevino, Vega, Johnson, Anfinson, and Renault out there. Puck is down and away we go. Johnson controls off the draw for the Toros, chips it to the near side. Trickles deep into Toro territory. As action picks up in the Toro zone. Back out into the neutral, crossing it to Gibbs. Shot fired in there by Small. Toros with the rebound. Shot rebounded and controlled by the Bobcats as they'll shovel it deep into the Toro zone. This puck ringing around the back of the net. Gibbs on for the Toros. Working it back out of the zone now. Up in the neutral zone to Small. Small unable to corral that one. This puck will roll back behind the Bobcat net as Bismarck crosses into the neutral zone. Skating in is Sipniewski.
A dangerous poke there towards the front. Artsabanov was able to poke it away from the front of the cage.
Sipniewski back into the neutral zone. Dumping this into the offensive zone. Toros control, though. Working off on a break now is Small. Small crosses it. Near side corner. This will carry him back behind the net. A coin on for the Toros. Edwards in working on the far side boards. As Sipniewski rings it on the near side.
Kept well by Mahler at the point there.
Hannison laying a big hit there in the far side corner. Bobcats control, get this back out to neutral. Toros will have to reset.
It'll be interesting to see how Adam Mahler adjusts to not having Weston Knox after 2 years of being arguably the best defense pair in Toro history. Knoxy off to Wisconsin this year.
Yeah, and you mentioned 10 returners this year for the Toros. Some of the newer guys last year, now the veterans. So a different dynamic there for the Central Cup winning team. Both teams working on the far side boards in the Bobcat zone. Puck trickles out. Hagstrom wires a backhander, goes wide left of the net. Toros still control. Working back behind the net is Tui. Tui stops and brings this back up to the blue line. Crosses it to Marvin Cordes. Marvin Cordes has to retreat and reset as Toros and Bobcats get line changes. Toros back in their own zone. Dumping this into neutral. Pass was intended for Nichols. Nobody home as we will get our first stoppage of play. Draw coming back into the Toro zone.
I don't know if Weston Knox is watching or not tonight. He and I were texting a bit this morning. He's enjoying his start to life as a student at the University of Wisconsin. We were making fun of former Toro captain Trevor Stahoyak got stuck with a goalie number at Minnesota Duluth, number 39. Knoxy's going to wear 20 for the Badgers. It'll be weird not to see him in number 44.
Bobcats do control off the draw. It goes back out to neutral, firing it back in, though.
It's a big hit by Nichols.
As Toros working back behind their own net, clearing this out into the neutral zone. Toros now skating Babineau into the Bobcat territory. Dumps it back to the near side point. Gibbs fires one in there, soaked up and saved by Renault. Toros are going to look at their first offensive zone draw.
It's that first line back out again. Couple Chicago kids, Spencer and Small, flanking Funk.
Funk on for the draw for the Toros. To the left of Renault. Bobcats win the draw. Trevino tries to get out of the zone. Dangerous pass in front of the net. No one home there, though, for the Toros. As they'll battle back behind the net. Small working against the board for the Toros. Puck trickles out.
It was a good feed. Funk just had the stick taken out of his hands.
Bobcats now working in the far side corner. Small, though, taking it back away for the Toros. As they'll skate back up the ice with it into the neutral zone. Gibbs controlling. Backhand shovel. Tried to chip it into the Bobcat zone. Cut off, though. As the puck will finally roll back behind Renault's net.
Could have been a too many men on the Cats there. A sloppy change as well. They get away with one. It's always interesting to see, Edward, how the officials decide to call a preseason game. Are they going to be overly engaged and try and set a standard, or are they just going to let guys play? So far, it looks like maybe this crew will let them play.
Tours now working on their own zone. Bobcats take it away. Pass to the far side to Spencer. Spencer does get it into the Bobcat territory, but they'll take it away. Back and forth we go in the first period. As Bismarck will now work from back behind their net. I think that was Nichols potentially there. No, Edwards there, taking a hit, falling down. Tours fire one on net. Hagstrom that was. No one home. Karam's off the near side boards back into the neutral zone.
We're in an unfortunate position here, fans. You can't really see where we're at in the arena, but we cannot see the scoreboard.
Yes, I keep wanting to reference time, but
there are clocks behind the
14
nets.
For yes, there is. Bobcats working in their own zone, getting a line change off. And resetting here. A coin on the pressure. Bobcats will throw it to the far side. They'll battle up against the bench boards. Puck finally squirts free. Bobcats control, dumping this one all the way back behind Gleb's net. Toros do control now, working into the neutral zone. Hannison throws it. Unable to find anyone home, though. O'Rourke now on the offensive rush for Bismarck. Fires one in there. Easy save for Gleb. Puck goes to the far side and will trickle back into Bismarck's zone.
Good rebound control there by the Toros goaltender. He put it into some open space on that far side, prevented any kind of second opportunity for the Capital Kitties.
Gleb Artsembanov, he's former Ukrainian national team player. As Toros now get a rush here. Firing it in there with Spencer. Goes off the boards on the back side. Babineau tries to keep it in the offensive zone, but it'll go back out to neutral. Toros control, but will have to reset. Renault out from his net. Marvin Cordes was pressuring. He does get it off, though. Renault now into the neutral zone. Toros will control. Marvin Cordes now working, trying to get a rush going in the offensive zone, unable to do so. Puck squirts back to neutral zone. Bobcats will control.
There's a good poke at the blue line by Ty James. Better read there by Marvin Cordes.
Marvin Cordes skating in, dumps it back to Mahler. Mahler now working and wrapping right back around the net. Wraparound shot, easy save for Renault. Bobcats will control the puck and send it up into the neutral zone. Good chance there for Mahler, but an easy save for Renault off the right side pad. Torres back into Bobcat territory. Spencer gets puck taken away and stripped. Sandoven in the near side corner for Bismarck. Working it to the far side now, entering on the offensive rush is Bismarck. Funk takes that one away, working trying to clear the puck. Bobcats doing a nice job keeping the puck in the offensive zone. Both teams, not a whole lot of sustained offensive rushes quite yet, but decent chances here nonetheless for the Toros.
You're right, Edward. Not a lot of sustained pressure at either end of the ice. I don't know. The Toros started to install some systems this week. Don't know if the Bobcats have gotten to that point yet in their training camp. Turned over in front. Shot goes wide. Sorry, old habit, Edward.
No, you're good. You're good. Toros do keep it into the offensive zone. Kabulis, as Small is also in there working on the near side corner. Really good opportunity there. With 11:22 in the first period for the Toros. Bismarck now back on the offensive rush.
We've only had maybe 2 whistles so far. We're almost 9 minutes in.
Bobcats now controlling in their zone, firing one in. This one going up and out of play. 11:05 to go in the first period of play. Both teams sporting Warren Watford 80s and 90s sweaters this weekend. Toros wearing some white sweaters with 90s colored fluorescent trim. Name and numbers, as the Bobcats in all black uniforms with neon orange to accent.
A bit of a rip-off of the Back to the Future logo on the back for the Bobcats, and kind of maybe a Tron theme to them.
Yeah. Off the draw is Bismarck, controlling, centering, almost getting a shot off there from the point. Back for Bismarck is Johnson, as he'll skate up the near side, throwing this into the neutral zone.
We don't keep the stats year to year for this, but anecdotally at least, I seem to remember Johnson having a really good Watford weekend for the Bobcats last year, but I have no way to confirm that.
Bobcats skating in, half-hearted shot off there, soaked up and saved. As Gleb starts to see his first few shots here early. We talked about him, an 04 kid from Ukraine, played on the Ukrainian national team, bounced around Alberni Valley last year, as he now finds himself in the Toros uniform. Draw coming to his left.
Several fans checking in on social. A few people asking about NATV. The building here can't handle multiple streams. Part of the problem, there's no press box. So the Toros and Bobcats, we've agreed to alternate who gets to do the video broadcast each year. If this is a Bobcat year, so we are limited to audio only here on socials.
Toros with a fast break into the offensive zone. Mahler tried to send to the puck. Bobcats take it away. Toros, however, will regain possession deep in their own zone. Pass is off to Huala, now skating near side is Batten. Batten tries to find O'Hannison across the middle. O'Hannison loses it. Toros control. Batten now back behind the net for the Toros. Backhanded centering shot. Nobody home for the Toros. Puck will now squirt back into the offensive zone for the Bobcats as they get a shot off that goes wide right of the net. They'll keep it in as they'll work back behind the net. A couple fast break opportunities here for both teams, but still zeros on the scoreboard. Toros will control in their own zone. Kabulis in the far side corner in their own zone will backhand it to the near side boards. Toros will skate back into the neutral zone, sending one deep as they'll get a line change off.
Good pressure by Nichols, forces the Cats to turn back, but they get through it.
Skating a really good centering pass there. Nobody home there for the Bobcats. As Minot will have another opportunity here. Gibbs sends one in. Nichols and Ramirez were stalking, soaked up and saved by Renault with 8:38 to go in the first period.
I think we've hit our media time out. That'll give us a chance to catch up with some of the social check-ins. We've got the Kowitzes. They're here in the building, but John's still tuned in to us. Caitlin Smet tuned in from Metagoshi. Not sure about the rest of the crew as they're all driving around. Yvonne Buffard from Canada, Quebec to be specific. The Thompsons checking in from Elgin, Florida. Miss you guys. Matt Jaharis asking where you can get these sweatshirts. They are available online, I believe. During intermission, I'll check with... Actually, I'll just check now. I'm going to make Kobe come get on the broadcast. Kobe?
Gentlemen, how are we?
We've got fans asking about the hoodies that Edward and I are wearing.
Oh, yeah, no.
They are going to be available online, correct?
Correct, yeah. So our lovely, I'd say partner, Jen Wagner, Two Dark Motorsports, she's going to have the...
Two Dark Designs now.
Two Dark Designs, my apologies. Yeah, she's going to have those. I believe the link might be live right now. Either way, we will be putting out a QR code either later tonight or tomorrow. But, yeah, they will be available. $60 for a sweatshirt, $22 for a tee. I myself went the T-shirt route just because I really cannot keep a white sweatshirt clean to save my life. So
yeah, I don't know what I was thinking with a newborn and a white hoodie. But.
Yeah, well, you spill enough as it is, Ken. So that's a recipe for disaster for sure. But yeah, that'll be like I said, tonight and tomorrow. We'll throw a QR code out. Just scan that and go get one of your own, or maybe even two if you're really feeling it. What are they saying about the jerseys though? How are the Oh, and Jen Wagner just put the link online. See, that is an angel right there.
There we go. We'll let Edward take back over for the play. Just wanted to get the details out to people as quickly as we could, Kobe.
There we go.
Babineau back behind the net, centers one for Ramirez. Ramirez unable to get a clean shot off Babineau, back working on the far side for the Toros. He'll skate in the slot, fire one. Easy blocker save for Renault. Puck does stay in the offensive zone for the Toros. Babineau back on another shot. Easy save, though, for Renault. Two really good saves for Renault as Toros are starting to find a little bit of sustained pressure in the offensive zone.
Babineau couldn't get much on the first opportunity as he was falling, but he still managed to flick that backhand towards the top corner. That second opportunity got everything he wanted, just didn't quite get it up over the glove. He was looking to try and sneak it under the post.
Draw will come to Renault's left. Funk and Kren on the face-off. Kren gets it out to Johnson. Johnson sends it to the near corner. Bobcats now working free. Oschlanger will ring it back behind the net for the Bobcats. Tours do control. Spencer knocking into the neutral zone to Ohannison. Or excuse me, to Funk. Funk now skating in. Small corrals the puck in the near side corner. Shot going back to Gibbs will trickle all the way back behind the Toro net and go for an icing.
Icing's brought to you by our friends at Minot's Finest Collision Center. More fans checking in. Sally B here from Chicago. Enjoying the Chicago crew. It's not just the two of us here in the booth. Edward and I both Chicago area natives, but we had Small and Spence on the ice. We won't see him tonight, but Charlie Durkin will make an appearance in net tomorrow, I'm sure.
Draw coming back into the Toros' offensive zone. Kabulis was on the draw. This one will awkwardly go up and out of play. 6:51 to go here in the first period of play. Score is still at zeros.
Gwen Johnson checking in from Minot. The Tims are watching on NATV, but hopefully listening to us. And Amalia Stahoyak, Trevor Stahoyak's mom, tuned in, even though Trevor's off for his freshman year at Minnesota Duluth.
Bobcats win the draw as they'll quickly shovel it and clear it into the Toro zone. Working up now is Kabulis. His stick breaks. Edwards, though, helping, centers a shot in for Aucoin. Aucoin unable to get anything out of it as the Bobcats will clear it back into the neutral zone. Toros having to reset. Walking in for the Toros is Mahler. Mahler trying to get it to a coin behind the net. Kabulis picks it up for the Toros. He'll fire it cross ice to the near side corner. Edwards on help as puck gets flicked into the neutral zone. Mahler doing a nice job of keeping it down on the ice. Toros now really starting to control the pressure.
Play has certainly shifted here the last 5 minutes or so towards this end of the ice.
Huala quickly gets it, dumps it off to...
Nice give and go play, but a better recovery by Renault.
And Renault has really faced quite a few shots in this last few minutes. He's looked good, but you know you got to think the Toros continue to keep this pressure going. They'll finally find something. Another draw coming to Renault's right. Huala on the draw for the Toros. Vig on for the Bobcats. Draw will quickly roll out of the Toro zone. Both teams will have to reset. Bobcats controlled back behind their own net as Toros tried to get it back to the blue line. Nobody was home. Toros will have to retreat and retrieve.
It was a good race win by Tui to keep that from turning into an offensive chance for the Cats. This will go for an icing, however, and icings are brought to you by Minot's Finest Collision Center.
5:06 to go in the first period. Game number 1 of 2, the 5th annual Warren Watford. Like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, first time in history that it is a rematch of the Central Cup. So, you know, talking to Coach Cody Campbell, you know, he said it really didn't add too much for him preseason, just kind of a, you know, feeling out process. However, you know, if you got to think that Bismarck might feel like they have a little unfinished business with the Tours, and that starts in the preseason as a really competitive regular season that boiled into the postseason as we'll get a puck up and out of play off an offensive draw for Bismarck.
Yeah, I don't know if the coaches, I didn't get a chance to ask the coaches if they worked this out. Cody Campbell and Garrett Roth, who returns to Bismarck. He had been their assistant for several years, was the head coach down in Oklahoma, but returns now to the Bobcat bench if they worked it out. But I think part of how they mitigate that, not a lot of returners in the lineup for Bismarck tonight, or at least if they are returners, not guys who played large roles. But and then I imagine a lot of the guys who are in the lineup tonight for the Toros won't be tomorrow, so maybe mitigate some of that, that score settling from last year by not matching up the veterans.
As another draw will be coming for the Bobcats in the Toro zone after Gleb had a pretty easy stop and save. Bobcats will work back behind the Toro net. Bobcats struggle to get the puck centered. Toros really applying some good defensive pressure here in their own zone.
This may be the first real sustained pressure the Bobcats have had all evening, but it doesn't result in anything towards the net. Meanwhile, Toros on the attack.
Nice shot fired in there by Nichols. Bobcats do recover as they'll walk it back into the neutral zone and clear a broken stick here. As we'll get
thankfully an offside play.
A coin was in a vulnerable position there, skating back with a broken stick.
Yeah, tried to clear it. The stick just explodes, and that left him in a very rough spot.
Yeah.
But fortunately, he got just enough of that puck to push it back over the blue line and send the Cats offside. 4:14 left to go here in period number 1.
Bobcats win the draw in the neutral zone. Johnson passes it across to O'Rourke. O'Rourke now sends it back behind the Toro net. Another whistle here.
Now we've got a little extra. Shots are 7-6 in favor of the Toros. I feel like it doesn't feel like it's that close to even, but a lot of the Toros' best chances have missed the net and gone off the end glass instead.
And the sustained pressure has definitely favored the Toros, but The quality of shots hasn't necessarily been, putting a ton of pressure on Renault quite yet. So Toros still looking to break through as Bismarck is starting to get a little more offense going as they will win a draw and send it into the Toros zone. Funk trying to work it out to the far side corner for the Toros. Bobcats fan on a shot now turning into a rush here for the Toros. Small and Spencer in there firing it as they'll go back behind the Toro net. Now worked to the far side boards. Johnson was carrying it up. O'Rourke also in there. Toros do take it away. So they'll send it into the neutral zone. Cross ice pass to Spencer. Spencer now skating through traffic. He loses it. Bobcats now with an opportunity rushing into their zone. Dumas tries to cross a pass to the far side boards. Toros do take it away. Pressure is being applied to the Toros defense though, so really having to work hard to get the puck out of their own zone. Spence now in his own zone near side corner, passes it to the far side boards. Spencer, or excuse me, that was
Kabulis, that was.
Kabulis, yes. As Edwards works on the near side for the Toros. Shovels a shot in. Bobcats do control. A coin now. Corrals in the neutral zone. Toros are resetting. 2:28 to go in the first period of play. Shots on goal in favor of the Toros, 8-6. A coin skating in for the Toros. A lot of traffic in front of the net. Tried to shoot a little backhanded shot in there. Bobcats do take it away. Skating in is Smith for the Bobcats.
Just lost the handle.
And quick shot fired in. Easy save. Rebound does go to the Bobcats, but a nice clear back into the neutral zone by the Toros. Bobcats working out of their own zone, sending it up the near side boards.
It's a good read by Ty James to break that up. I keep forgetting that's him. He changed numbers this year. Went from 5 to 2.
Babineau now taking the puck back behind the net, throwing it back up to Gibbs. Gibbs to O'Hannison. To James. James fires one. It'll go back behind the net. Ramirez now working the far side corner. Two Bobcats there as this puck will finally trickle free as Murray corrals it for the Bobcats. Puck sent into the neutral zone, back and forth. Marvin Cordes fires a shot onto Renault. Renault stops it. A centering shot trickles back into the neutral zone. Toros once again will have to reset. 55 seconds to go here as we'll get a stoppage of play.
Minot's finest collision center icing. More fans checking in. Got Tanya Shaw-Canaro from here at the game. Gerald Morgan from down in Arizona, I believe. The Mock family is aboard. And the Gersbecks from Minot.
Lato won a draw, fired one in quickly off the draw. Easy stop and save though. It's under a minute. We go. Toros now skating into the offensive zone.
Nice spin move by Babineau, but his feet hits a leg.
Batten trying to center it out of the corner. Bismarck does take it away. Now on the rush is Sipniewski. Sipniewski unable to find the net. That one went wide left.
Bad turnover there by the Toros in their own zone.
Huala and O'Hannison trying to work the puck free from the near side boards. Toros now take it as Huala tries to get a shot off before the buzzer, but buzzer sounds. First period is down. 0-0 here inside the Rough Rider Center as we will take our first break as we'll send it out to commercial break. We'll be right back with the first period intermission report.
Hi, I'd like to add my new motorcycle to my insurance policy, please.
Greetings. Is it a moped or unicycle?
No, it's a motorcycle.
Unicycling enhances core body strength.
No, it's a motorcycle. It has 2 wheels, a seat, handlebars.
Does it have rocket boosters?
Can I speak to a live agent?
Impossible. All agents have been neutralized.
At Farmers Union Insurance, technology is important, and so is finding the best options for our clients, person to person. Farmers Union Insurance. Local agents, more options, great rates.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading.
As long as you have...
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
If RPMs raise your BPMs, if the open road is an open invitation, then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Go windows down. Go volume up. Go in. Go out. Go off. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
As we welcome you back inside the Rough Rider Center here in Watford City. First period is down. Still no score on the scoreboard. Both teams some decent chances as this preseason begins to get underway, and we kind of start to feel out some of these lines.
Yeah, obviously a lot of new guys for both squads, so chemistry not there yet, but you shouldn't expect that in the first preseason game. Toros have only been on the ice for about a week and a half. I'm not sure how long the Bobcats were in camp, but I think they got there a week before the Toros, but they don't get on the ice, I think, in Bismarck until after the first week of training camp. So both teams about the same amount of practice time. So you expect to see some of that passing just off and not a ton of systems once they get in the zone. But just like football, this early in the preseason, defense is ahead of the offense.
Shots on goal almost even, Minot only with a 9-8 advantage. So both teams getting their fair share of shots. Renault, the Bobcat goaltender, a lot of good saves there. Torres had about 3 to 4 minute stretch where really they were controlling the pressure, but just nothing going, finding the back of the net quite yet.
So I'm distracted by they've got a game of musical chairs going, and it looks like right now at least the Toro fan is in line to win. But we haven't really planned out much for the intermissions here yet for the preseason, but Edward, I think fans might be, at least who don't follow along through the summer, surprised to hear a new voice on the broadcast. You're a student at Arizona State. You're up here. I am taking a little bit of time off to spend the weekends where the team is on the road at home with my new daughter, and the rest of the family. I suppose I'll check in on them every now and again too. But really, it's the Hannah show at the Oda House now. But give fans a little bit of background on you and what they can expect here, at least for the first half of the season.
Yeah, well, I've been a remote intern here for the Toros for, I think this is now my 3rd year. Coming up, obviously, in person for the first time this semester. And yeah, I've been working more so behind the scenes for the Toros, writing some articles, doing some social media clipping, any and all of that. But now, have this opportunity. Me and Ken, special connection, graduated from the same high school, so that's how we originally got connected. And then I went to pursue a journalism degree down at the Cronkite School at Arizona State, and this opportunity came up, and I couldn't pass on it. I've been, more on a fan of the Toros as well as an intern, but definitely have kept up with them, especially last year. So it's a really good time, I feel like, to be around this organization. We're really starting to trend in the right direction. For
sure. Last year was a great year, and I think Cody, at least from the start, looks like he's got, oh my goodness, they need to get the mics figured out. a good thing lined up for this year as well, hopefully. And we started to see some of the veteran names in the lineup tonight. Jack O'Hannison, 29 goals last season. He comes back. Toros have only had two 30-goal scorers in their history. So, a chance for him to maybe be the next one to put up 30. Yes, we lost a lot from last year, but the 10 guys coming back, I think, give Cody a good core to start with. Yeah, and you say 10 guys, but it is quite a bit when you consider, the NAHL and just how fluid the game is with, players moving on to the next level and then, everything else. So I think retaining 10 players is going to be important for the Toros. One thing that I saw about them last year was just the depth of the team. It's a long season. You're playing from now and potentially, into the spring. So if you have that depth on their team, and especially if that's coming from veterans, I think that puts you in a really good position to go deep into the playoffs with some fresh legs. And I think that's one thing that the Toros leaned on heavily last year. Yeah, and for comparison's sake, you look over at the Bismarck roster, just 8 returners for them. And, Kyle Dahl was a guy who played a bit, but, Trent Anfinson picked up late. Evan Hunter, a big-name guy. Jacob Kopechki, Ian Engel, those were big-name guys. But you look at the 8 guys who are coming back, it's probably not the same depth of the 10 of the Toros, not just because 8 is fewer than 10, but you look at just the overall caliber of player for the 2 returning groups. Yeah, and really through the first half of the season, the Toros were kind of running away with that Central Division, but Bismarck did make a nice push later in the season. They were kind of working from behind. Toros had to fend them off for that first-place spot, and then, of course, they did meet in the Central Cup Finals where Bismarck, I believe, picked up their first playoff win against Minot as they tried to extend that series at home. Yes, it was the first time the Cats had ever won a playoff game. It was the 3rd meeting, so the Toros now 9-1 all-time in playoff games against the Bobcats. That's a stat that I'll repeat as often as possible. But, you see coming into tonight, we've talked quite a bit about maybe some score evening, and honestly, a rather pedestrian first period. I didn't see a lot of that chippiness that you might expect from a typical Toro Bobcat game. Yeah, and we talked about it on Toros All Access. You want to be competitive, you want to play hard, but you don't really want to get involved in a lot of those extracurriculars to carry into the regular season. But like I mentioned before, both these teams have gone back and forth these last couple of years, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see them run into each other later in the season, or if we really see a similar race for the Central Division that we saw last year. And, of course, the Bobcats as well. New head coach Garrett Roth, he returns to Bismarck. Yep. Had a pretty healthy stint already. I believe he's native to Bismarck as well. Actually, Barrington, Illinois.
Oh, Barrington, Illinois. Okay,
he played his junior hockey in Bismarck. So he spent between playing there for 4 years and then coaching there for as long as he did. He spent, I think, a majority of his adult life in Bismarck.
And he brings a lot of playoff expertise as well down in Oklahoma. Obviously, we know what happened with them 2022, 2023. So, big positive for Bismarck as they try to, get into that position of playing for a Robertson Cup. So, we'll send it back out to another commercial break here in Watford City. 0-0 after 1. And we'll catch you on the other side with second period play for the 5th annual War in Watford.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
If RPMs raise your BPMs, if the open road is an open invitation, then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Go windows down. Go volume up. Go in. Go out. Go off. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Circle Sanitation is a locally owned family business providing quality waste hauling services since 1980. We provide service to residential and commercial customers, as well as roll-off service for large projects and construction sites. We are dedicated to providing excellent service at competitive prices without deceptive contracts or hidden fees. For more on what Circle Sanitation can do for you, call us or visit Circle Sanitation.
As long as you have the back of someone in the midst of an overdose, North Dakota's Good Samaritan Law has yours. Learn how to save a life at behavioralhealth.nd.gov.
Opioids, fill with care.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
Hi, I'd like to add my new motorcycle to my insurance policy, please.
Greetings. Is it a moped or unicycle?
No, it's a motorcycle.
Unicycling enhances core body strength.
No, it's a motorcycle. It has two wheels, a seat, handlebars.
Does it have rocket boosters?
Can I speak to a live agent?
Impossible. All agents have been neutralized.
At Farmers Union Insurance, technology is important, and so is finding the best options for our clients, person to person. Farmers Union Insurance. Local agents, more options.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
If RPMs raise your BPMs, if the open road is an open invitation, then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Go windows down. Go volume up. Go in, go out, go off. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Circle Sanitation is a locally owned family business providing quality waste hauling services since 1980. We provide service to residential and commercial customers, as well as roll-off service for large projects and construction sites. We are dedicated to providing excellent service at competitive prices without deceptive contracts or hidden fees. For more on what Circle Sanitation can do for you, call us or visit Circle Sanitation.
As long as you have the back of someone in the midst of an overdose, North Dakota's Good Samaritan Law has yours. Learn how to save a life at behavioralhealth.nd.gov.
Opioids, fill with care.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget.
Number 11. Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
All right, and we welcome you back to the first period intermission. We are joined here with Toro Chuck Owens on the broadcast.
How's it going? Welcome in. You're one of the few guys who was with us last year not in the lineup tonight. In fact, you might be the only returner not in the lineup tonight. Is that correct?
Yep.
What's your impression of the first period from the stands?
Yeah, I thought overall the guys did good. It's just hard for the start. not everyone, built that connection already. It's just the first couple weeks, and I mean, every shift, every practice, everyone's getting to know each other a little bit more. So I'm just excited to come out here tomorrow and play with the guys, and hopefully tonight they keep working and get the job done.
And how is it playing in Watford City? Obviously, I mean, this is the first time it's a rematch of the Central Cup. You guys really had some good battles in the regular season. I know it's preseason, but explain a little bit what it's like to come out to an in-state rival like Bismarck in the first game of the year, albeit a preseason game. I mean, you guys last saw each other only a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It takes a lot of pride. Both teams, they really care about their communities, and both really big community-based teams. So this is way more than just a game to us, and we really care about our fans. We care about everything that really goes into it. And I think every game, it's not taken lightly, whether it's preseason or it's the Central Cup. It's just game is a game, and they're going to go out and they're going to fight for it.
Looking at that first period, it was clear maybe not a ton of chemistry built yet for either squad. You expect that at this point in preseason, but take us through what training camp's been like so far. How much has been install? How much has been the dreaded conditioning work with Cody? What's camp been like from your perspective?
Yeah, this is my first training camp technically. For sure it's rough, but the way Cody said it, and I think he's very correct. When stuff sucks that we're going through it together. And I think that builds us up as a team. And I mean, we've done a lot of conditioning, and I think what we've done compared to teams that haven't done it is just, we've been simplifying like what we do in the D zone, what we do in the neutral zone, what we do on forecheck, PK. We've been doing the basics, and I think that's why we're a little bit of a step ahead of teams in the preseason, but. I mean, every guy knows what their job is, and what we're told is do your job, and you don't have to worry about much.
You saw that last year. We joke about Cody's conditioning camps, but you came in late last year, but you had to see just joining the team late and then seeing that run that I think at least for the Central Division portion of the playoffs, our guys were in better shape and they had more energy late in the year than other players.
Yeah, for sure. The stuff that we've been doing in training camp for sure shows we were in really good shape this year. A lot of really good running times. I mean, the testing went well, and I mean, we're just really excited as a group because we know how good we've been performing in the gym, and off the ice really matters, so we can perform on the ice.
And does like what kind of alluded to, you go through it now, but it really did pay dividends late in last season. You had really fresh legs. You guys, really were a deeper team than I think pretty much every team that you played later in the season. Does that make this early season stuff any easier now, kind of knowing what might be on the other side?
Yeah, it kind of gives us something to look forward to. It's like we're going through stuff now, but it'll all be sweet when it comes to the end here. We're a really good third period team. Get us an OT. That's pretty scary. We're just really conditioned, and everyone just is bought in, and that's all you really want.
Last thing before we let you get out of here. You haven't gotten to wear it yet, but what do you think of these Watford jerseys?
Yeah, these Jays are for sure sweet. I think both teams got good jerseys, but my knots are for sure better. I'm really digging the colors, and I'm excited to wear it tomorrow.
Awesome.
Well, we appreciate you having you on. That was Chuck Owens here for the Toros. Hopefully we'll be seeing some time on the ice tomorrow in game number 2 of the Warren Watford. So we'll send it out to one last break before we bring you the second period action here between the Toros and Bismarck.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
If RPMs raise your BPMs, if the open road is an open invitation, then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Go windows down. Go volume up. Go in. Go out. Go off. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Circle Sanitation is a locally owned family business providing quality waste hauling services since 1980. We provide service to residential and commercial customers, as well as roll-off service for large projects and construction sites. We are dedicated to providing excellent service at competitive prices without deceptive contracts or hidden fees. For more on what Circle Sanitation can do for you, call us or visit circlesanitation.com.
As long as you have the back of someone in the midst of an overdose, North Dakota's Good Samaritan Law has yours. Learn how to save a life at behavioralhealth.nd.gov.
Opioids. Fill with care.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
Hi, I'd like to add my new motorcycle to my insurance policy, please.
Greetings. Is it a moped or unicycle?
No, it's a motorcycle.
Unicycling enhances core body strength.
No, it's a motorcycle. It has 2 wheels, a seat, handlebars.
Does it have rocket boosters?
Can I speak to a live agent?
Impossible. All agents have been neutralized.
At Farmers Union Insurance, technology is important, and so is finding the best options for our clients, person to person. Farmers Union Insurance. Local agents, more options.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, once.
Edward Neiman and Ken Oda back on the broadcast. Second period action here in Watford City. No scoring in the first period. Both teams, a couple of decent chances, a lot of neutral zone play, but puck is down, and we are underway for the second period of play. As Bobcats controlling the neutral zone. Gibbs and James pass it back and forth to each other in their own zone. Gibbs loses the puck. Bismarck controls for a quick second. Torres clear this one out. Spencer back into the neutral zone. Now a good run here by Small as he was unable to get a shot off, but a nice offensive zone rush here early in the first period. Bobcats back as they'll dump this one in. James tries to clear the puck out of the zone. Bobcats take it back away, but Killen on help for the Torres as Small on another rush here as he walks in and passes it back to Hagstrom. As this one will get cleared back all the way into the Toro zone. Mahler kicks it far side to a Coin. Coin now clears it. Spencer tried to get it back into the neutral zone. His pass was cut off. As this one will trickle to the far side. As a Coin will finally dig it out of the wall, clear it back into neutral. Bobcats will have to reset.
Spencer had Kabulis. The pass was just a half a step behind him. Kabulis had his guy beat and had the lane into the zone. Feed just didn't connect.
As we'll get a shot on goal here, but an easy save for Renault. 18:28 to go. Renault has been pretty good so far given what he has been faced with. There's been a couple spurts in this game. I think it's been really segmented offensive pressure for the Toros, but he has at times faced some shots in bunches and has done a nice job staying composed and not really having any close moments thus far into this one.
Ohani's Aunt D and Dad both tuned in. Also, fans, we did drop the link for the Dash auction of the jerseys in the comments on the Facebook feed, or you can go to fans.winwithdash.com type Watford into the search bar, as we've got some ice maintenance going on. But
extended stoppage here, but another offensive zone draw here for the Toros. Kabulis is unable to get that one off the tie-off. Bobcats now.
Good stick by Hagstrom.
Entering their own zone. Likeness was walking in on the far side boards, but nice defense by the Toros to cut off that rush, as they'll now work back behind the Bismarck net. Hagstrom back on defense. Bismarck charging in. Shot on goal for Likeness. Easy save. And freeze for the Toros. As Gleb has been pretty good as well. You know, we talked about him a little bit early in the broadcast. A lot of experience he brings in. You know, he's really bounced all over the place. I talked to him, you know, really before things got started with training camp. And, you know, he's been pretty much anywhere and everywhere. And, you know, he's really up for a challenge at any point. And he's definitely excited to join this Toros program, who has really had a lot of good goaltending last year. We saw Brady James and Lucas Swedin put up some really good performances, especially deep into the playoffs for the Toros. So hopefully more of the same in the goaltending department for the men from the Magic City. As this puck will ring back behind the Toro net. Gibbs on for the Toros. O'Rourke with some nice defense up against the boards. Huala trying to carry it out of the zone on the far side. His pass will get broken up. Huala will eventually get into the neutral zone, now carrying it across ice to Ohannesson. Ohannesson shot, and it's in. Toros score. Jack Ohannesson wires one from the far side for his first of the preseason. Toros' first of the preseason.
Who else but Ohani?
And we talked about the returning players. Ohani was such a big part in this Central Cup winning team. A nice rush there, and an even better shot, beating Renault blocker side, finding the back of the net with 17:21 to go in the second period of play.
29 markers last year for the Toros for Ohannesson.
As what, you know, really was following a somewhat pedestrian first period, now gets started off pretty hot for the Toros. A couple good rushes there, finally resulting in Ohannesson finding the back of the net. Babineau carrying it into the Bobcat zone. Puck was chipped up into the air as Bismarck will settle it down and now carry it across the blue line. Kionen controls for the Toros, working back behind the net. This one chipped to the far side to Marvin Cordes. Puck fired back off the backside as Toros will clear this into the neutral zone.
It was a good feed from Jesse Juhola on the goal by Ohannesson.
Yeah.
Good vision to find Ohani, who was wide open on the wing.
And that's what some of that veteran experience does. I mean, Ohannesson obviously just finding the right part of the ice and was there and ready for the pass, as it was a somewhat easy goal for him from the far side.
Yeah, I imagine Garrett Roth going to let his guys know, maybe don't let a kid who had 29 last year just skate wide open down the wing. It'd be cool if he didn't, though. We'd be okay with that as well. If they want to leave Ohannesson open all year, we'll take it.
Draw will come back into the Toros zone. Babineau on for the Toros. As Vig wins the draw. This one, though, trickles back into the neutral zone. Bismarck will have to reset.
Mahler with a big hit at the blue line.
And that's been a big thing, too, early here. I think there has been, some pretty good neutral zone play by both teams in terms of the physicality category. A couple big hits laid for both teams as this puck worked out of the near side corner. Bobcats keep it in, but Toros control. Spencer trying to settle that puck down in the neutral zone, but it'll trickle all the way into the Bobcat zone. Funk now crosses it back up to Hagstrom. Hagstrom fires one wide left of the net. Bobcats control down the far side.
Still looking for our first penalty of the evening as well. Now that we've got our first goal.
Firing one off was Vig. That one blocked, though, through traffic. This puck will squirt to the far side.
You love to see that from a veteran like Small. He doesn't have to worry about his roster spot. He's still here in the preseason, going down to a knee to block a shot.
Tui now carries this one back behind the Toros net. Working it up was Hagstrom through traffic. Now Spencer skating down the left wing, trying to get something there. Nobody was home as this one will squirt down into the near side corner. Toros trying to add on to that lead. Quick start in the second period after a tough first period for both teams just in terms of the offensive production category. Funk tries to work this back in to the Bobcat
zone. Left the zone, so it'll be offside.
Draw will come back out to neutral. Toros still hold a slight advantage. Shots on goal 11-10, even though in the second period 2-2 so far. But of course, Toros getting the go-ahead goal via Jack O'Hannison. Draw to neutral. Ingstrup will chip this one high and deep into the Bismarck zone. Gloved and dropped and sent back as Ingstrup and Kabulis will work out of their own zone. Puck turned over though. Broken stick by James.
It wasn't broken. He got it caught in the player.
Taken away.
Well, he got it caught in the player and was trying to just drop it to avoid getting the penalty call.
Yeah.
It didn't work. They still got him on a slash, so he'll go and sit.
Announcer's jinx there. Ken just mentioned in the penalties. Tours will have to go to the penalty kill here. As the draw will come.
Anfinson and Gibbs. Anfinson just gave Gibbs a little chop with the stick. Those are a couple of returners.
Starting to heat up a little bit. You know, Toros get on the board and
suddenly it's real again for everybody.
As Toros win this, Nichols clears. As Bismarck will have to retrieve and reset their first opportunity of the night on the power play. This one sent up the near side. Skating in is Anfinson. Anfinson sends it back to the blue line. And now gets the puck back into the far side corner, working back behind the net. Vig in there for help for the Bobcats. As Vig will finally free up the puck, skating behind the net, sending it to the near side. Vig now skating in front of the net, crosses one. As a shot there by Sipniewski found the backboard. As Torres now on a odd man rush, Batten there had an opportunity. 1 against 3 though, so rush is stopped fairly quickly, but
Spencer coming on a change now, causing all kinds of problems in the Cat zone.
Torres doing a nice job here through the first half of this kill, maintaining some good pressure in the Bobcat zone. Bobcats having to work hard to get this puck out of their own zone despite being on the power play. Ingstrup clears this one the distance. Bismarck once again having to change and reset.
We cannot see the remaining time on the power play, unfortunately. Or maybe you have an angle. I definitely don't.
I do not either, so we'll have to go by guessing here. Penalty occurred 5:36 into the first.
Ty James is standing up in the box now, so he's nearing the door.
Bobcats
will be coming out soon.
Bobcats working Lato, crosses one to Kren, who fires one too high of the
box.
net.
Toros full strength.
As a fairly easy penalty kill there for the Toros penalty kill last year, of course, was solid, and we're seeing that once again here early in the preseason as Mahler carries this for the Toros out of the zone. Ty James
chopped down from behind, and the Toros will go to the power play. Brought to you by First Western Bank and Trust.
12:06 to go in the second period of play. Toros, of course, up 1-0, and that reminds me, Ken, it would probably help if I did update the score, Bug, on Facebook. There we go. Toros are indeed up 1-0 and have been for a few minutes now, despite the no update. Offensive draw coming here, though, for the Toros. Their first power play opportunity of the evening. Huala was on for the Toros. O'Hannison at the blue line, near side. As Toros will now work. Back to O'Hannison. O'Hannison fires one in from the near side. That one goes wide, though. O'Hannison back, cross-ice pass to Huala. Huala fires one in.
Nice play.
Toros find the back of the net again.
Tic-tac-toe passing on the power play.
Toros up now 2-0. 2 quick goals here.
I believe it was Billy Batten on the backside.
Yes, I could not see. I want to say it was Batten as well.
He led the line through the handshake line, so we're going to go with that. Billy Batten on the back door.
And some good passing there. O'Hannison, though, really active near side. He found the pass cross ice. And once again, another goal for the Toros coming from the right side of the ice. Back underway. Toros lead has grown to 2. Tui working far side corner in the Toros' own zone. Dumas tries to send a pass up to the blue line. It will trickle into the neutral zone. Toros now taking it away. Spencer skating up the ice as Funk tried to settle the puck down. Bobcats do clear it, though. Toros will have to reset. Hagstrom in his own zone. Pressured by Ruskowski. Bobcats take it away, but Funk playing some really nice defense neutral zone. Breaking up a potential rush into the Toro zone.
Late hit by Spence behind the play. Surprised that didn't turn into anything.
Bobcats now working in the Toro zone. Hagstrom trying to get it out from back behind the net. Funk will control as Toros now working back up the ice. Tui crosses it near side to Spencer. Spencer skating in, fires one. It'll go wide up above the net. Toros get the rebound, though. Puck shoveled in there by Small. Toros lose it.
James pinched down. He's got to get back. Gibbs covering his side.
As puck will ring back behind the net to the far side. Good defense by the Toros. Small trying to take the puck away. Diving, delayed penalty coming.
It's a tough call on Smallsy there. He was diving to poke the puck, and the guy just skated into the stick.
Yeah, and being aggressive, trying to get that puck settled down and out, but will get called for tripping. So Bobcats will have another opportunity, their second opportunity of the night on the power play. Their first one unsuccessful. Toros did look pretty strong on the kill for the first, and actually had a little bit of pressure offensively on the first penalty kill. So draw will come to the right. Babineau on for the Toros. Toros will win the draw as this puck is rung around by Ingstrup. It'll go all the way back into the Bismarck zone. 9:45 to go here in the second period of play. Bismarck looking for something here as the Toros have really started to pick up the offense in the second period of play. Bobcats now working from the blue line.
Nichols will get called. I think it's a hit from behind.
Yeah. His helmet popped off on the play, so
I think it'll be checking from behind on Nichols or a board, one of the two. Yep, check from behind is the call. So Toros will be down 2. 10:04 and 10:30 the times of the penalties, so 26-second time difference, so minute 34 on the kill. The Toros will get Small back at 7:56.
Ramirez, Mahler, Ingstrup on the penalty kill for the Toros. A draw quickly won and cleared by the Toros. As Cody Campbell will definitely get a good look at his his penalty kill unit here. Bismarck with a really good opportunity to try to get back into this game. Vig back up top. Arvidsson gets one on goal. Advinson was in there as well. Soaked up and saved.
Defensemen will stay out, Ingstrup and Mahler, but they'll change up the forward.
Marvin Cordes on for the Toros, another one of those returners here in Minot. He'll be at the draw.
Near side. Nice. No, good keep as well. I thought that was going to get out.
Advinson tries to get something going there. Vig works out of the near side corner for the Bobcats. Bobcats now stalking. Gets a shot on goal. Easy save, though.
Mahler's stick is broken, so the Toros have only 3 players on the ice and 2 functional hockey sticks.
Vig now near side. Fires one cross ice, but it goes up and out of play, so a little bit of a break there for the Toros. As they were working 5-on-2 there for a second.
Or 2.5.
Yeah.
Toros will get John Small back in 35 seconds.
James, Gibbs, and Babineau out there, or excuse me, Spencer out there for the Toros.
And then they'll get Nichols back in exactly a minute.
Ruskowski on the draw for the Bobcats, wins it. Kren out there far side, shot fired in there by Johnson. Toros do take it away and will clear it the distance, as that one will go all the way back. Bismarck will have to retreat and retrieve. Carrying it up is Johnson. Johnson walks it into the Toro zone, skating back behind the net. Loses the puck briefly for a moment. Regains possession, chips it up to Kren. Back now to Hammer. Hammer near side to Lato. Lato back to Johnson. Johnson fires one, and that is tipped and in there. Lato pulls the Bobcats back within 1.
Toros were scrambling in their zone just as they got Spencer back, or I'm sorry, Small back. The good news is it was after Small's penalty had expired, so it comes on the Nichols penalty and it sends the teams back to 5-on-5.
So the Bobcats do cash in there on a power play. Toros were really doing quite a good job early there, keeping the pressure out of their own zone, but Bobcats do score and get back within 1 as Toros are back to full strength. 7:38 to go in the second period of play. Toros do win the draw, send it into the Bobcat zone. As both teams will work near side at the blue line. Puck finally squirts free. Kabulis. Mahler with a nice hit in front of the Bobcat bench. Puck now in the Toro zone. Bringing it around to near side. Quick shot on goal there by Trevino. Blocked through traffic. Vig tries to cross the puck. Edwards carrying it up the ice for the Toros. Aucoin trying to corral the puck in the neutral zone. Bobcats back with the puck as they'll get a line change and clear it into the Toro zone.
Hitting is definitely picked up here in this period. And not just the scoring.
Once the scoring started, the hitting followed as well. So back to what we normally expect from both teams, at least throughout last season. As Toros will try to work the puck into their offensive zone. Back, though, is Tui. Tui skating into the neutral zone, loses the puck. Hagstrom, though, picks it up for the Toros. He'll skate to the far side, gain the blue line, and fire it in back behind the Bobcat net. Huala on for the Toros. O'Hannison out there as well. O'Hannison working far side, tries to backhand it cross ice. Pass was blocked. Hagstrom now skating into the Bobcat zone, trying to get a shot off there. Falling, though, and hitting the ice as the puck will.
Delayed call. They're calling the hook. It's the preseason. Just give him the penalty shot. He was in by a step.
As the penalties have really picked up here.
Ever since I said there hadn't been one, yeah.
The announcer's jinx does exist.
It's a nice thing we're staying here tonight and don't have to drive back to Minot as the game is slowed down just a bit. Speaking of driving to Minot, the Bobcats did that this afternoon. They arrived late here. New coaching staff, new bus driver. I think the bussy heard that they were playing Minot, and they forgot to mention it was in Watford.
Well, that'll do it. I mean,
they pulled up to the Pepsi rink and then had to tell them, no, we're going to Watford City.
Now, I did not know that until now, so that's pretty funny.
Yeah, if our guys were here warming up about an hour before the Bobcats rolled in. Fortunately, they had left with enough time to get to the hotel and check in. In theory, they ended up just having to burn that extra time making the trip from Minot.
Well, I would, silver lining is the newer guys on Bismarck did get a quick glimpse of the Mesa Arena as Toros working on the power play. Bobcats clear this into the Toros zone. Tui back as the Toros reset here. Lead is still 2-1 following the Bobcat goal.
Toros roll it deep.
4:42 to go in the second period of play. Kabulis at the blue line near side chips it in to the corner, back up top to Hagstrom. Hagstrom clears it. Kabulis fires one, blocked up and out of play. Draw will come back into Bobcat territory.
35 seconds left on the man advantage. But the draw will come out to neutral.
Oh, neutral, okay. Kabulis out there with for the Toros with Hagstrom. Marvin Cordes as well. Kabulis on the draw, wins it. Hagstrom crosses it to Mahler. Mahler walking it into the Bobcat zone. Hagstrom flicks one in. Trickles back behind the net. Mahler doing a nice job saving the puck, keeping it. As this will be worked back behind the net.
We're going to make sure we get Adam Mahler on during intermission tomorrow. He's the Toros' all-time plus-minus leader. He's lived a bit in the shadow of his former defense partner, Weston Knox. Look for him to have a very big role this year.
Bismarck back on full strength. Hagstrom fired one in there. Mahler sends it in. Babineau out there as well for the Toros. Bismarck now on the offensive rush, walking it. Opportunity there for likeness. Nothing going though as the Toros will regain possession and bring it back into the neutral zone.
Likeness, a lot of hope in that pass. There was no one up with him.
Yeah.
He fired a pass across hoping that someone had joined the rush and no one had.
Ingstrup on for the Toros. Babineau working it far side in the offensive zone. Huala battling up against the boards behind the Bismarck net. Puck finally frees up into the near side corner. 2:55 to go. Second period. Bismarck once again on another rush here as they'll work it far side and fire it in. Lado in pursuit. Toros now back on the rush themselves though. Gibbs carrying it in. Crosses it to Ohani. Ohani unable to get the shot to go. Good opportunity there by the Toros on the rush.
Feed just a little late.
Yeah.
O'Hannison couldn't settle it down. It had some bounce to it as well.
Gibbs throws one in. Renault gloves it and keeps it. Things continue to pick up a little bit here in the second period. Draw will come to Renault's right. Please.
Delay here. Artsebanov's stick is broken.
Artsebanov has been real good. You know, I mean, the one goal, but Toros were working down 2 men on that one, so he's been pretty solid through really the majority of this one so far. Draw will come in the offensive zone for the Toros. Huala on the draw, gets it to O'Hannison. O'Hannison sends it far side there to Mahler, as this one will trickle into the near side corner. Bobcats trying to work it back into neutral zone. They do. Toros will have to reset. Mahler sends it in for the Toros. This one will carry him and ring back behind the net. Mahler gets it back. Tries to center something in. Nobody home there for the Toros. Bismarck working in. Ruskowski from the far side. This puck right in front of the net of the Toros. Good defense there to clear it back out in the neutral zone. Decent opportunity there for Bismarck, but a lot of traffic in front of the net.
Good job tying up sticks by the Toros defenders as well. Unlike on the penalty kill where they were outnumbered, Toros had a guy on every Bobcat. And as that puck was loose around the cage, they couldn't get it towards the net.
Hagstrom trying to work this out of the Toro zone. They'll work now near side corner. Vig on with Ronis. And some physical play now picking up, really, especially against these battles on the boards. This one rung to the far side. 1 minute remaining in the second period of play. Kionin skating it out of the zone. Up to Small. Small now on the break to Funk. Funk back. Trying to go back to Small.
Good stick
Passes.
by the Bobcat defender.
Nice break up there because a really good opportunity by the Toros. Small, though, gets the puck back. Centers it. Shot on goal soaked up and saved by Renault. Spencer there with a decent opportunity right in front of the net with 40 seconds remaining. Draw will come back to Renault's right. Funk on the draw for the Toros. As Bobcats will control, sending this back behind the net and into the neutral zone. Ruskowski now skating into the Toro zone. Lato out there as well.
Spence and Arvidsson tie up.
Spence falls to the ice there briefly.
He had a chance to get free. He would have been gone.
Ingstrup now trying to work it out from behind the net. As this puck will trickle into the neutral zone. Spencer centers it. Bobcats have to reset. Bobcats, so trying to get a shot off before the buzzer sounds for the end of the second period. Toros lead 2-1. Both teams, however, finding the back of the net.
Spence took exception to the late shot at Artsebanov. That probably came a beat or two after the horn to end the period, but the officials do a good job to get in and prevent anything that might lead to players missing games at the showcase. We're through 2 periods, Edward.
Yes, and you know, Toros get on the board early in that second period. Jack O'Hannison firing one in, and then second goal came a few minutes later by Batten. Assist credited to Edwards and Huala. And then Bismarck finding one midway through the second period. Lato gets credited with the goal. Hammer and Johnson on the assists. Shots on goal after the second period still favor the Toros 15-14. As action began to pick up a handful of penalties as well in that second period after none were called in the first. So I guess some stuff that we're more used to finally settles in the second period of this first preseason game. We'll send it out to the break, and we'll be back with the second period intermission report.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
If RPMs raise your BPMs, if the open road is an open invitation, then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Go windows down. Go volume up. Go in. Go out. Go off. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Serco Sanitation is a locally owned family business providing quality waste hauling services since 1980. We provide service to residential and commercial customers, as well as roll-off service for large projects and construction sites. We are dedicated to providing excellent service at competitive prices without deceptive contracts or hidden fees. For more on what Circle Sanitation can do for you, call us or visit circlesanitation.com.
As long as you have the back of someone in the midst of an overdose, North Dakota's Good Samaritan Law has yours. Learn how to save a life at behavioralhealth.nd.gov.
Opioids. Fill with care.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
Hi, I'd like to add my new motorcycle to my insurance policy, please.
Greetings. Is it a moped or unicycle?
No, it's a motorcycle.
Unicycling enhances core body strength.
No, it's a motorcycle. It has two wheels, a seat, handlebars.
Does it have rocket boosters?
Can I speak to a live agent?
Impossible. All agents have been neutralized.
At Farmers Union Insurance, technology is important, and so is finding the best options for our clients, person to person. Farmers Union Insurance. Local agents, more options, great rates.
As we welcome you back inside the Rough Riders Center here in Watford City. Second period intermission report. We are joined by Toro goaltender Charlie Durkin in what is pretty, a pretty interesting interview because we don't really ever get to talk to goalies all that often, but Durkin, one of three of new goalies here in Minot.
And also rare because this has to be a first in NAHL history. 3 Loyola Academy guys,
That's right,
all on the air. 2 broadcasters and 1 goalie. But Dirks, thanks for jumping in with us. And first off, you tendered with the Toros last year. I'm gonna start there. What made you? I know you came up and you played a little bit of a game there too. But what made you decide you wanted to be a Toro and to take that tender offer?
Well, Ken, when you see the history of guys that they move on to the next level, it's pretty attractive. So that's what helped me with my decision.
Yeah, a lot of D1 goalies through the program over the years. I think that's probably been, just about every year at least one goalie has gone D1. A few years both goalies have gone. So I certainly see that appeal. Was there anything else once you came up to Minot that helped seal the deal? A lot of goalies go D1 from this league, not just from Minot. Was there anything about that experience coming up and seeing the facility or getting in a game or anything like that?
Probably the facilities, they're great. Seeing that in person, it really helped me too. And then being able to play 10 minutes and seeing the atmosphere in the rink, that was pretty cool feeling.
And what's it like, coming up here to Minot? Really good goaltending play last year for the Toros. How does that feel? Because now, you're kind of tasked with, assuming that role. How does that feel?
It's some big shoes to fill, but I'm up to the challenge. I worked pretty hard this summer, and I feel like I'm ready to move on to the next level.
And how has training camp been so far? You're about a week in now, and preseason finally gets underway. But how has training camp been leading up to the preseason?
Training camp was definitely tough. We were pretty much training like Navy SEALs for the first couple days with all the conditioning and running the steps and at the track and all that. But as the days went on, it got easier, just getting into a good routine, and then your body gets used to it. So right now we're getting to the end of it. So it's been pretty light the past 2 days, but it was awesome.
I know guys won't believe this, but my wife and I used to run those stairs at Minot High, and those are absolutely killer. I can't imagine. We used to do it. It wasn't fun. I can't imagine. We didn't have anyone sitting there yelling at us like you guys did. That has to be the low point of training camp, I would think, for most guys.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. Cody having us do all types of jumps up the steps it was tough mentally, not only on the body but on your mind too. Just being able to get through it.
Now you're seeing, preseason play now here in the NAHL. What are you looking forward to now, stepping up, into junior hockey and really now seeing, play in person?
I'm probably looking forward to just getting into a game and just getting into the swing of things, getting into the grind of the season. I was really looking forward to that, and just being surrounded by a group of guys who really want to, win a bunch of games and work hard every single day, and I really like that.
I mentioned earlier you got into a game last year as well. What was that experience like? I don't think you were planning to play, but that game, just the way it kind of got out of hand, you ended up in net. Like, what was that experience like when all of a sudden you get tapped and Coach said, hey, go get in there?
Yeah, so in the second period, Cody was like, Dirks, be ready for the third. And so I went into the locker room and I grabbed my racket balls and I start warming up. And then Weston Knox pulls me out of the locker room, just give me a little pep talk. I was pretty nervous, but we were up 10-1, and I went in and I wasn't really thinking. It was one of the coolest moments I've experienced so far. And I only had one shot, but I made the save. So
you did only see one shot, but what is that period of play? Does that give you any extra confidence, or did it help maybe get rid of some of the butterflies for tomorrow night when you'll get in and get 40 minutes?
Yeah, it definitely gave me some confidence to know I can play at this level, and just to see what the speed of the game was like in the game, and yeah, just the speed.
So before you get out of here, we asked last period, but just your feelings on the Warren Watford event. The uniforms, of course, I think a little more unique for both teams.
Yeah, I was pretty excited when I saw the jerseys, so can't wait to wear it tomorrow night. And then a lot of fans made the trip out here, so that's pretty special for us to be able to play in front of them. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you on the ice tomorrow. Charlie Durkin, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We'll see you on the ice tomorrow. But we'll send it back out to commercial break. We'll be back with second period intermission.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
If RPMs raise your BPMs, if the open road is an open invitation, then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Go windows down. Go volume up. Go in. Go out. Go off. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Circle Sanitation is a locally owned family business providing quality waste hauling services since 1980. We provide service to residential and commercial customers, as well as roll-off service for large projects and construction sites. We are dedicated to providing excellent service at competitive prices without deceptive contracts or hidden fees. For more on what Circle Sanitation can do for you, call us or visit circlesanitation.com.
As long as you have the back of someone in the midst of an overdose, North Dakota's Good Samaritan Law has yours. Learn how to save a life at behavioralhealth.nd.gov.
Opioids. Fill with care.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget.
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
Hi, I'd like to add my new motorcycle to my insurance policy, please.
Greetings. Is it a moped or unicycle?
No, it's a motorcycle.
Unicycling enhances core body strength.
No, it's a motorcycle. It has 2 wheels, a seat, handlebars.
Does it have rocket boosters?
Can I speak to a live agent?
Impossible. All agents have been neutralized.
At Farmers Union Insurance, technology is important, and so is finding the best options for our clients, person to person. Farmers Union Insurance. Local
We
agents.
often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
And we are back. 2 periods down, 1 to go. Preseason game number 1, 5th annual war in Watford. Toros lead at 2-1, 3 goals total for both teams coming in that second period after a scoreless first frame. And quite a few penalties as play really started to pick up on both sides of the puck.
Yeah, a much better period. The passing on the Toros power play goal was unreal. We'll have a clip of that out soon. And not just picking up here in the building, but picking up in the chat. We've got Chad Muller, Kobe Woog, or Volk, I should say, Woogie checking in the chat. So not just more fun in the second period on the ice, but some alum checking in. It's good to see that they continue to follow the team, and I think that speaks to maybe a little bit of what Durkin was talking about as well. You look at the history of this program, but also what a special place Minot is to play and how appealing that is to players.
Yeah, I mean, a guy like Durkin, he kind of outside looking in last year, tendered obviously, but you only saw the ice for 1 game, but you can definitely feel it, and that's, I think, one thing that Minot has working in their advantages is the environment the fans bring, the program itself, and what Cody Campbell has done in the last 4 years here. It's definitely noticeable, and it culminated at least last year in a Central Cup title, and more of the same, I would hope, as we move into this season. But
Woogie checking in, best fans in junior hockey. Sorry. But, and it is. I mean, you look at, Durkin mentioned it, how many Minot fans made the trip for the preseason opener 2 hours away from Minot. Hey, that's the kind of stuff when we talk about Minot having the best fans. There was an article that went out this week, a season preview piece with Cody Campbell. He mentioned it too. Like, I talk about it. I can continue. Like 12 years in, I'm still blown away by the support we get here in Minot. Edward, what's that been like for you? You're getting to experience it firsthand here, for the first time, just around the building, seeing the buzz around the team, and seeing some of this early season stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I saw it firsthand. Definitely last year, I came up here for the Austin, the 2 home games of the Austin postseason, and it's really unbelievable when you look at the amount of support that the town generates for this team. And I like to think that it definitely plays a role, particularly a home ice advantage for sure, especially in those playoff games throughout the regular season. But the one thing I always harp on is that, I've been an intern here remotely for 2 years, and I could tell from being even remote about this community and about this fan base and how strong it was. So I think that speaks volumes that, you don't even have to be in person in mine not to feel it, because it is that strong. So, I echo a lot of the same sentiments that Durkin had to say about both just, the organization, but also the fans out here in North Dakota.
Take a look at the scoring in this one as well. Toros lead 2-1. Edward will run you through that.
Jack O'Hannison struck early in the second period to get the scoring started for the Toros. Huala on the assist. Then Batten added another assist credited to Edwards, and Huala, who has already got 2 assists now through 2 periods in the first preseason game. Bobcats do answer with 1 on a 5-on-3 power play. Lado found the back of the net. Assists from Hammer and Johnson as they inched closer after being unsuccessful on their first power play opportunity of the period. They cash in on a 5-and-3 opportunity to pull within 1. But nevertheless, we talked about it. It's just the crisp passing that we're seeing from this Toro team, especially on some of those offensive rushes, particularly the first one there by O'Hannison.
Yeah.
Nice feed and a nice shot as well. And then on Batten's goal as well, just active hands in the offensive zone looking for the open pass. And Edwards and Huala finding that. And Huala, like I just mentioned, 2 assists already. So definitely positive signs in this early preseason matchup for the Toros as, we start to kind of feel out these lines and see how these players are shaping up playing together on the ice against a team in a different jersey. So definitely some positive things through 2 periods here, but we will.
We aren't the only NA preseason game going, so I'm just going to do a quick update on some out-of-town scores before we head out to break again. Danbury with an upset of New Jersey 4-1. New Hampshire takes down Maine 4-2. Philadelphia 3-1 over Maryland. The Minnesota Mallards in their first action, they're trailing Chippewa 2-1 in the third. Watertown taking on Fairbanks in some preseason action. Fairbanks up 1-0 in Watertown. Austin and the Wilderness, they're not reporting a score, but I'll see if I can hunt that down during the break. And Shreveport, a 4-1 win over Corpus. But that should do it for me. Edward?
And we'll send it out to one final break. On the other side of the break, 3rd period action here at the War in Watford. Stay tuned. Toros up 2-1.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
If RPMs raise your BPMs, if the open road is an open invitation, then get up and go. Go turn some heads. Go turn a wrench. Go windows down. Go volume up. Go in. Go out. Go off. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Circle Sanitation is a locally owned family business providing quality waste hauling services since 1980. We provide service to residential and commercial customers, as well as roll-off service for large projects and construction sites. We are dedicated to providing excellent service at competitive prices without deceptive contracts or hidden fees. For more on what Circle Sanitation can do for you, call us or visit circlesanitation.com.
As long as you have the back of someone in the midst of an overdose, North Dakota's Good Samaritan Law has yours. Learn how to save a life at behavioralhealth.nd.gov.
Opioids. Fill with care.
At Northwest Tire, we have tires for everyone. Needs tires that are reliable and safe to get her family where they need to be. Needs a tire that's heavy duty for all of his off-roading adventures. Needs tires that can get him from point A to point B. No matter what you drive or your budget,
Northwest Tire keeps you rolling down the road.
Hi, I'd like to add my new motorcycle to my insurance policy, please.
Greetings. Is it a moped or unicycle?
No, it's a motorcycle.
Unicycling enhances core body strength.
No, it's a motorcycle. It has 2 wheels, a seat, handlebars.
Does it have rocket boosters?
Can I speak to a live agent?
Impossible. All agents have been neutralized.
At Farmers Union Insurance, technology is important, and so is finding the best options for our clients, person to person. Farmers Union Insurance. Local agents, more options, great rates.
As we welcome you back to third period action here on the Minotauro Network. Toros lead the Bobcats 2-1. Preseason game number 1 at the 5th annual war in Watford. Edward Eamon and Ken Oda on the call.
Toros, of the first 4 versions in the war in Watford, 3 years it was split. 1 year there was only 1 game. The Toros won that one, so the Toros all-time 4-3 against the Bobcats in wars in Watford as we enter the third period.
As draw is down 1 by the Toros. Gibbs controls in his own zone. 1 final period as Toros look to maintain this 2-1 lead and take game number 1 against the Bobcats, in-state rival. Trevino working out of the Bobcat zone. Pass broken up. Small passing it back to Funk. Funk to Spencer. Spencer skating in front of the net. He tries to steer through traffic to the near side. Now battling back behind the net. Spencer and Trevino. Spencer works it free. Skates to the far side corner. Pass goes wide and out of the neutral zone all the way back behind the net. Toros will have to reset. Spencer now working near side in the Toros zone. Skates. Quick shot off there. Goes to the far side. No one was there for Spencer. Spencer back now wrapping around the net as Renault will glove and keep it. And some extracurriculars really now heating up after the plays as Funk is in on that.
Now we're starting to get the feel of a Toros-Cats game.
Yeah, and you know, it really picked up with those penalties in the second period. We saw O'Hannison get the Toros on the board, and then a slew of penalties led to the Bobcats eventually responding after being down 2-0. And ever since then, it's just really started to turn into a physical hockey game that we have come to know from these two teams. Toros win the draw, briefly loses it as Bobcats work it back out into the neutral zone. Mahler skating in near side corner. Tightly guarded there by Sandvin. Bobcats work it out back in the neutral zone, now gaining the line and called for an offsides. With 18:24 to go in the third period of play. Draw coming back out to neutral. Cats win the draw. We'll shovel it into the Toro zone. Back to get it was Tui. Now Mahler.
Tui's impressed. I think he's really stood out as far as newcomers go so far this evening.
Toros finally corral and work it free. Just chipped glove down there by Kabulis. Kabulis working and firing. Shot, it's in.
Oh my.
Toros add another. Kabulis.
The dance and the dagger from Kabulis.
The 0-4 forward.
Right through the defender and picked his spot.
That was
a tough shot for Renard. I'm actually surprised they haven't had the goaltending change. The Toros did change goaltenders.
Yep. Mizenko in for the Toros. As play will resume, 17:50 to go in the third period. Toros tack on another as their offense is really starting to fire on all cylinders. 3 goals in about a period and some change.
Mizenko passes his first test. Blockers that one away relatively easily.
Working back behind the net in the Toro zone. Puck finally frees up. This one fired off the near side board into the Bobcat zone. O'Hannison in quick pursuit gets caught up back behind the net. Batten working it free back to Hannison. O'Hannison with a backhanded try. Huala trying to get something on net, goes wide right. This is work back out in the neutral zone. Mahler corrals and Bismarck will go for a line change.
Fans have been asking about the 20 stickers on both teams' heads. Well, I guess both are accurate, just one is slightly more accurate. I'll get to that during the next stoppage.
Working there with Marvin Cordes as he's fired one. Bounces off the net. Sipniewski clears it back into the neutral zone. Anfinson in pursuit for the Bobcats. Sipniewski chucks it behind the net. Back up top to Sandvin. Sandvin wires one in there. Rebound comes off. Sipniewski and Vig working in the near side corner. Toros take it away. Marvin Cordes working down the ice. Brief pursuit there by Tui. Trevino, though, controls for the Bobcats as they reset in their own zone.
That'll go for a Minot's Finest Collision Center icing, and I said I was going to explain the 20s on the back of the helmets for both teams. Unfortunately, it is to memorialize Brighton Foote, who played for the Watford City, or the Mackenzie County Hockey Club here in Watford City. He was taken way too young in a car accident this summer. So both teams paying tribute to the young Watford City hockey player.
Toros win the draw.
Partly, I believe, a fundraiser in his memory.
An awkward shot in.
That got through.
Puck.
Spencer from behind the goal line.
Puck trickled in Renault. Didn't really have an eye on it and turned around and it was in the back of the net. Toros add another.
Ian Spencer with a greasy one from below the goal line. He was a cat killer last year, including in the postseason. We saw him get going. So a player, we saw it last year with Jack O'Hannison, a guy who was mostly relegated to a fourth line role in his first year as a Toro and then gets that year two, takes a huge jump. Spencer, an early candidate for that.
Bobcats back on an offensive rush here. They got numbers. Unable to get a clean shot off there. Ruskowski was out there trying to direct some traffic, clearing into the center. Bobcats do get the rebound, though. Throwing another one on goal is Catalano, as Toros skated in. Edwards there trying to throw it on net. Pass broken up, sent back out to the neutral zone.
Good pressure from Edwards.
Firing one in there. Hannison again. She tried to kind of backhand wrap around one in there. Renault gets a glove on it. You can definitely see O'Hannison out there. There's a certain degree of comfort out there for him. He's really been active all over the ice. Of course, we mentioned, of course, the goal he had, but, he's just really been all around there on both sides of the puck and has made a difference in this one. Huala and Lato on the draw to the left of Renault. Bismarck controls off the draw, sending it far side to Likeness. Is up and out of play. It's 14-17 to go in the third period. Toros lead 4-1. Draw will come out to center ice. Lato wins the draw. Had it for a moment, but lost it. Huala dumps it to O'Hannison. O'Hannison fires it back, trying to find Huala down the middle. Can't settle it down, though, as Torres continue to throw shots on net. Mahler, awkward shot, far side, near side. Blue line shot, went wide. Skating in, firing was Nichols. Renault gets a glove on it.
O'Hannison, another chance there. He hasn't missed a beat.
No, not at all. And, I think that's one thing, too. Preseason, lower stakes, but, if you get off hot now, it typically is, points to good signs. And, we talked a little bit about the Toros All Access. They'll come back home and play a preseason series at home against the Norsemen, but then after that, they hit the road right away, traveling to Austin. So definitely, utilizing these preseason series as warm-ups, because then you're going to hit the ground running, taking one of those longer road trips out to Austin. This Cats control will send it down to the Toros zone. Mizenko gloves and holds it as he sees his first period of action here in a Toro uniform.
Toros have really, I feel, dominated here this period, not just adding on to the scoreboard, but just in general.
Yeah, and
almost all the play has been down here at our end.
Shots on goal starting to gain some separation for the Toros. 21-17 now. We haven't really seen much of a difference, more than 2 or 3 through the first couple periods of play, but Toros starting to gain some separation on the Bobcats as they'll work now near side in their own zone. Marvin Cordes out there for the Toros. Ramirez corrals, centers one into Babineau. Babineau can't find it, though. Smith back on the rush for Bismarck.
Mahler had a guy lined up. I don't have the Bobcat roster memorized yet. It was Nolan Smith.
Oschlager there with, or excuse me, that was Murray there. A shot in front of the net. 13:05 to go here in the third period of play. Draw will come to Mizenko's right. Bobcats control. Sending it in there was Ruskowski. Puck will trickle back into the neutral zone. Toros trying to work free out of their own zone. Small gets a stick on it. Bobcats back on the rush. Sipniewski skating back behind the net. Nothing going there. So shot will come from very deep towards the blue line, up and out of play.
Toro fans, a lot going on in Toro country besides the games this weekend. You may or may not have noticed Edward and I launched the new Toros All Access this week. A new format. It'll be a daily web show that instead of running for 40 to 45 minutes on a Wednesday night, will be typically between 5 to 10 minutes every day.
Yeah, and we've had a variety of things on there so far, but more to come in terms of just different segments that we're trying to build in on that to keep Toro fans the most up to date that they have ever been up to this point as the Bobcats work this puck out of their own zone. Dumas skating up, putting one on net. Toros will clear this almost all the way down.
Not quite far enough for an icing.
O'Rourke trying to send it out. Toros get the puck here. A coin trying to center it there to Edwards. Puck will ring back behind the net. Edwards with a nice hit there in the far side corner. Bismarck clears this one. As both teams will work back in neutral zone for a moment. Lado still out there for the Bobcats. He has obviously made an impact in the scoring department, but he has been another player that has been quite active, laying some pretty good hits on the boards for the Bobcats. As traffic in front of the net here as Bismarck tries to find something. They'll have to reset.
Hard to see from our vantage point all the way at the other end of the ice. I think that got through, but Mazanko got it with the blocker.
Yeah. Bobcats still working, lose the puck though, as this will trickle all the way back to Renault. Almost to Renault, I should say. So Bobcats will just shovel this one in and clear with 10:40 to go in the third period of play. O'Hannison back out there for the Toros, along with Huala and Batten. This puck will come back into the Bobcat zone as they reset. Working up the far side boards. A
bad hit in front of the bench, and good job by the officials to get in quick before that turned into something more.
Kren was in there for the Bobcats, and I think he's taken to the box.
Keanu Kren in 04. So a 20-year-old wearing a full cage delivers a bad hit in front of the benches. Toros will go to the power play.
Draw will come to Renault's right. Vig in on the draw for the Bobcats. Huala out there for the Toros. Bobcats win this one. Johnson sends it the distance for a quick clear on the penalty kill. Toros working it up the ice. Batten loses it. Johnson once again on the clear. First 30 seconds of the power play, pretty easy for Bismarck. Two clears from deep inside their own zone. Batten working back up the far side. Edwards trying to get a clean shot. O'Hannison fires one on net. Blocked out to the right side of Renault. Puck will go back into the neutral zone. O'Hannison skating down the far side. Rings it back all the way behind the Bobcat net. Huala settles it down on the near side, crosses it to O'Hannison. O'Hannison back up top to a coin to Huala. Huala is being tightly guarded there by Vig. Batten sends it back up to Gibbs, or to James, excuse me. James working from the blue line. Huala to bat, and net comes off.
This is the unit that had the really pretty power play goal earlier.
And
now more chippiness.
Crashing into the net there was Edwards on
Charlie Vig from the Bobcats, a Bismarck native. And chirping at O'Hanny, the 07 from Bismarck. I'm sure he went to a Bobcat game or two last year as a fan. Wonder if O'Hannison pointed out that just last spring, Vig was paying to watch O'Hanny play.
Torres get the draw. Spence puts one on net. Goes wide right. Spence with another shot there. Nice block there. Through traffic. Small now skating in.
What a feed by Small for Funk. It was such a good feed. I don't think Funk even.
Quick takeaway here on the.
He was caught watching. It was just such a good play by Small.
Yeah. Batten skates into the zone. Spencer trying to get a stick on it in the near side corner.
Cats come full strength.
8:08 to go here in the third period of play. Likeness skating in there. Putting one on net there for the Bobcats as they looking for some late third period magic here as a coin will send it deep into the Bobcat zone as Toros will go for a switch. Kren with a cross-ice pass to Likeness. Likeness unable to gain possession of that one as this one will trickle back into the Bobcat zone. Babineau back out, now working up the far side boards. Bobcats control, send it back into the neutral zone. This one shipped in back behind the Toro net. Big hit there in the corner. Bobcats continue to try to look for something. Haven't really been all that productive in shots in front of the net so far. Toro's doing a really good job pushing Bobcats outside the dots and making it real tough to get anything going in what has been a fairly clean goaltending performance so far for the Toros.
Shots this period, 10-7 in favor of Bismarck, and that does not match how this is felt.
Yeah.
But I will say it is the Toros crew, J.R. Sweet, Emma Palmer in the penalty boxes, so I'm pretty sure those shot totals are accurate.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the shots for Bismarck have been kind of just been slung in there. Bismarck just looking for something in front of the net, but defense has been good, so Bobcats have been sending quite a few just on net, looking for something off a rebound. As skating in was Ingstrup trying to find the open man, and Bobcats will clear this into the Toro zone. 5:55 to go in the third period here. Preseason game number 1 for the Toros. They are in firm control, up 4-1. Johnson working at the blue line. Toros take it away. Huala back to a coin. A coin tries to go back to Huala. A coin finds the open puck and just fires it in there, but goes wide. Johnson skating.
That's probably why we're seeing the Toros being technically outshot. Is a lot of stuff off the end wall as opposed to the goaltender.
Johnson walking in. A little too close of range to get a full shot off there as he just carried it right into the Toro defense.
Final 5 minutes.
Edwards there crossing for Small. Small back up to Batten. Batten fires one wide. Puck fired on net and held. Kabulis there on the shot.
They're going to take a media timeout with 4:43 to play. Toros leading 4-1. And Edward, we mentioned new things for Toros fans, the All Access. Also new this year for Toro fans, whether you buy season tickets or a single game, if you can no longer attend the game, you will be able to relist your seats for sale. If they sell, you'll receive a credit. Not a full 100% refund credit, but you will receive a credit that stays on your account. For season ticket holders, you'll be able to use that credit to renew your season tickets or to purchase playoff tickets. Of course, for individual game ticket holders, you'll be able to use that credit as well to buy individual game tickets moving forward if you can't make that game. So an exciting change. In the past, it's been no refunds. If you buy a ticket and you can't make it, you're stuck with it. But now you'll be able to turn that ticket back in if someone else buys it. You'll be able to get a credit. Also, as always, if you would rather, especially for season ticket holders, if you have a ticket, you can share those tickets digitally with someone else if you can't make the game, but you want to hook someone up. You're still welcome to do that as well. Lucas Semstead asking in the comments where he can get the hoodie. We did drop the link. It was Jen Wagner of Too Dark Designs who put the comment with the link for the hoodies. We'll make sure we get the link out again as well.
Trevino working up the far side wall. Shot gets fired on net, soaked up and saved by Mazenko. 4:23 to go. Renault still in there for the Bobcats. He's going to get 3 periods of play here in the first preseason game.
They have 3 goaltenders on their roster as well, so a little surprising. The Toros also have 3. They've splitting 40 minutes apiece out of the 120 minutes of hockey, but Renault getting the first 60, as you pointed out, Edward. I'm a little surprised at that. You'd think you'd want to get all 3 guys a touch here early.
Yeah, and I mean, Renault has obviously faced a fair share of shots and, getting the full experience here against the Toros in the first preseason game. Trevino sending it into the Toro zone will go.
They wave off icing.
Yeah, that was.
I think that was one where it's a 4-1 game and everyone wants to get to the hotel and enjoy a post-game meal.
Mahler trying to work this one out in front of the Toro net. So this one will roll to the far side corner. Both teams working against the boards. Puck finally frees up. As Kionen's out there for the Toros. Good amount of pressure being applied here by Bismarck as their lone goal coming in the second period. Puck gets cleared out behind the Toro goal line. Gibbs works it out. Huala sends it down to the near side corner. Nobody there for the Toros as they'll get off. A bit of a change here. Batten and Hammer. Pretty good battle there in the corner. Puck gets freed up, sent to the far side boards. O'Hannison skating through traffic. Huala settles a bouncing puck down, tried to fire one on net. Caught up in traffic though. Turns into a little bit of a Bismarck rush, but nothing going there as the Toros clear this one right back down for an icing.
Couldn't wave that one off. That was too blatant. So whistle goes. 2:28 left to go. Here in regulation. Not saying it's not possible, but fairly confident we're not going to have to worry about overtime tonight, but I think I already used my broadcaster jinx for the evening.
I was going to say. Toros do win the draw in their own zone. O'Hannison skating down the far side. He'll just kind of sling one in there. Bobcats bring this one back out to neutral. O'Rourke fires one ringing back behind the Toro net. 2 minutes to go here in the third period. Fairly dominant performance here for the Toros as
what a save by Mazenko.
Out of the net, diving, but keeps the puck out of the net.
The scorpion kick. He was down on his stomach. He bent the right knee to get the pad up to deny a scoring chance.
Johnson skating in front of the net. And what do we got here?
Bobcats do get one back.
Yeah.
I believe that went in. On the rush for Johnson. In on the partial breakaway, but then it'll be Tui to the box. Or did it not go in? It didn't go in.
I don't think it went in, yeah.
So Mazenko made the save.
Mazenko, a nice couple of saves here.
Yeah, I thought the reaction was that puck had gone in. Again, fans, we are calling this game literally from the fire escape. So down in the corner, we're 200 feet away from that play. The way his arms went up, I thought it went in, but he must have just been frustrated with the hook call.
A nice opportunity there for Johnson as he skated right in front of Mazenko. Mazenko, though, with another very solid save here in his first period of action here for the Toros. Draw in the Toro zone. Bobcats control, sending one in there was Ardverson. Just over a minute to go here. Puck.
Empty net. Cats almost put it in their own cage.
Toros now skating in and scoring. Nichols on the empty netter.
Short-handed.
Late on the coverage. Lato tried to do the best he could there to get back inside the empty net, but Toros find the back of the net. 5-1 here. As Minot puts the icing on the cake here. 5 goals in your first preseason game. You really can't complain about that.
No. And that one technically shorthanded. Well, it was shorthanded even though it was into the empty net. So the Toros have a power play goal, an even strength goal, and a shorthanded goal. You're not going to lose many games when you can score on all three phases.
No, and I mean, if you're Cody Campbell, I mean, that's something you love to see, especially from some of these guys who are, out here for the first time in a Toro uniform. So
big hit by Funk.
Very balanced performance here through the first game. Warren Watford, 45 seconds remain here. Puck thrown back behind the Toro net. Johnson now sending it in. Toros playing off the puck a little bit. Fed inside, though. Shot on goal, soaked up and saved by Mazenko.
More Bobcat Toro hockey played after the whistle.
.33 seconds do remain. It is a 4-score game,
and this is where you need to be careful because I mentioned it on All Access this week. Goals, assists don't carry over into the regular season, but suspensions sure do. So you don't want to be ineligible for that game against the United States Team Development Program to start the showcase.
Big way to start your season. Last year Toros faced Lone Star, the eventual Robertson Cup champions, in the showcase as well. So Toros have had a pattern here facing some pretty stiff competition early in the season. So definitely something to look out for as we move closer and closer to regular season play. But final 15 seconds of play here. This one sent deep into the Bobcat zone. Renault out of his net. He'll chuck it to the near side. Johnson nearly whiffs on the pass there and loses it, but finally corrals as the buzzer will sound. Game.
Toros fans make some noise.
Toros win game number 1. Warren Watford 5-1 over the Bobcats in a preseason rematch of the Central Cup.
We'll just keep it here. Do a quick post-game recap, not a full post-game show. Recap the scoring. It was Jack O'Hannison, his first of the preseason, 2:38 into the second. Billy Batten at 8:20, also his first of the preseason. Jack Edwards with the assist on that. Jesse Uhola with the assists on both of those first two. The Bobcats got one back late on the power play. Josh Leto from Hammer and Johnson at 12:10. Cut it to 2-1 after 2. Then in the third, Leo Kabulis with probably the goal of the night, although the power play goal for Batten was pretty good too. But Kabulis danced right through a defender and roofed one to make it 3-1. Ian Spencer then from behind the net, set up by John Small at 4:43, made it 4-1. And Davin Nichols into the empty net pushes it to 5-1 for the final. Edward, your first full game in a headset here for the Toros. Overall impressions of the performance on the ice?
I really liked what I saw out there for the Toros. I mean, some of the little things that I think, you may not see in the preseason from some of these guys we saw from the Toros, and crisp passing, a real good sense of, your direction on the ice. And it obviously resulted in quite a few goals for them. And, I really like what I saw out there from really everybody. Good goaltending as well. And I'm excited what this Toro team has to offer with 10 returners coming back this season. I think there were a lot of good things to pull from tonight, and I look forward to seeing some newer faces on the ice as well tomorrow night.
Yeah, I imagine everyone who was out of the lineup tonight will be in the lineup tomorrow. There will, of course, be some carryover from guys who were in the lineup tonight as well. The Toros have 31, can dress 22, so that means 9 guys will come in, 9 guys will go out. I have a feeling it'll be some of those returning players, O'Hannison, Spencer, Small, those guys all showed you exactly what you expect from them, putting up points. So I have a feeling they've earned tomorrow night off, but it'll be interesting to see what Cody Campbell does.
Yeah, and I look forward to it as always, but Ken, this has been a pleasure being on the broadcast.
I'll let you close it down.
Yeah,
man.
this has
show.
been fun. So thank you guys for tuning in. You can catch us tomorrow night. Puck drop 7 o'clock here at the Rough Rider Center in Watford City. Game number 2 of the 5th annual War in Watford. But until then, we thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast, and as Ken would say, we know you enjoyed the outcome. So until tomorrow, we'll catch you. Have a great night.